It's only when we experience life from our ego that we somehow feel we have to go somewhere, because we live in that experience of separation and the pain of that, right? And so the challenge in spiritual work is really to begin to work not from our ego, to begin to work not from the place that's suffering, to begin to work not from the place that experiences separation, but to truly, simply reach inside and discover and connect to that place that doesn't suffer, that doesn't feel separated, and to then nourish and feed that experience so that it is what opens and blooms in our life. There was a real simple little, you probably all heard it before, but it's a very wonderful little line that basically says, prayer is talking to God, meditation is listening to God. You understand the profound distinction between the place in us that is talking to God and the place that's listening to God. What is the part of us that's talking to God going to be saying? Yeah, give me that, give me that, give me that thing. Right? Well, you know, God's heard that song for a long time. But the place in us that is listening to God, the place that really wants to know, is profoundly different than the place that is wanting to say, give me this, can't it be this way, etc. Can't I grow faster? Can't I be different? Right? So, okay, look. Rarely do people come to spirituality from a place of spirituality. Mostly we come from ego, or the suffering thereof, right? That's fine, right? What we want to do is to recognize that as quickly as we can in our sadhana and to begin to change the equation. So that we come to, and we're functioning from, let's be generous and say 100% of our ego. I was going to say 98, but it doesn't float, right? And we're feeling this pain, we're feeling this confusion, we're feeling this separation. We're not calling it separation because we don't got a clue what that means, right? All we know is that somehow the life that we're living has no fulfillment in it. And it doesn't really make a difference how much stuff we have, how much money we have in the bank. You hear it all the time. People who are very successful in the world, who have the same experience as the people who are paupers. There's an emptiness inside me. And so what we want to do is to shift away from, understand that it is that emptiness, that experience of that lack, right, that brings us to the search for some deeper sense of connection to ourselves. And then as soon as we come into contact with that, then let's nourish that, let's feed that, so that we're shifting the equation, right, from functioning most of the time from our ego to functioning less time from our ego and more time from our heart, more time from the place in us that's connected to that deeper essence, right? And this is the joy and the beauty of sadhana, and it is the requirement of sadhana. It's the purpose of our sadhana, to shift away from the level of consciousness that brought us to our sadhana in the first place. And so if you want to measure it, measure how many times that you wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is think about God. Take your calendar and mark it. Okay, so there's a number of things you do there, right? If you wake up in the morning and you're not thinking about God, okay, don't write off the day. Stop, take a breath, and think about God. Instead of what? Everything else, right? And mostly all the reasons why we don't feel God, why we don't have that experience. The 100,000 reasons why we're crazy, or we're this, or we're that, or somebody did something to us, or somebody said something to us, and I'm going to go get them today, or I'm going to run away today, I'm going to do whatever. We start our day, usually, we start our day every day thinking about something else besides being free, besides freeing ourselves from that pain, freeing ourselves from the ego, which is the place that experiences pain. So then we are never separate from our consciousness. Never. What we focus on is what we will see in our life. So then over the course of your day, you can use this equation over the course of your meditation, the course of your day, the course of your week, your life, your years, or your life. Where did you start, right? And where did you end up? Did we start from that place that is at least listening to God instead of, yakking at Him, right? Right? And what's the progression? You can take those same increments. You can take this moment and add the next 10 moments, right? And if we're thinking about God in this moment, and then we perpetuate that and think about God for the next 10 moments, then maybe we have the chance of it expanding into, my God, our life. But if we start not thinking about God, if we start thinking about all our trips, all our trauma, all our trouble, all our this, all our that, right, for the first second of our, as we wake up, and then we follow that for 10 seconds, well, you're hooked. Ugh. And you're going to be dragged around by your ego the rest of the day, beating the hell out of everybody around you with your ego, right? Because this is what happens. You've all heard that phrase, things tend to go in the direction they're going, right? Well, what's going to stop the momentum of our energy that's caught up in itself, caught up in mind and ego and suffering and pain and agony? What's going to stop that? Speed bumps? Our wish to change it. Our wish to change it. And perhaps, then that's the real measurement that we can use. How deeply do we wish to find something deeper in ourselves? So then it's not a measure, well, it's 78% today, right? It is the experience that we're having, that what we're doing in our life, what we're doing with our life force, which translates into what am I doing today and right now, is, am I trying to open deeper? Am I willing to let go of that which is preventing me from opening deeper?